We should be good now. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Loadout with Sean and John.
Hey, Johnny, how are you?
Oh, I'm learning some valuable lessons today here on the Loadout from some different departments that I usually don't work in.
Yeah, production on our show's kind of hammering us about timing and stuff.
We learned that packing too many people into a schedule is not a smart move.
No, sorry, Tom Kenny.
Yes. So speaking of amazing producers, we've got somebody who you and I came up with way back in the day who's now freaking on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, he's got great hair.
Look at this guy. Augie, how are you, bud?
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on the show. I'm really excited about it.
We are both huge fans of you, and we've worked with you since Jesus, since we were all young and didn't have gray hair.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you. Everything you're doing, bro.
Thanks, man. So I remember way back in the day, man. Experience Music Project up in Seattle.
Oh, that was awesome, right?
Yeah. We've done some good stuff. I mean, I've worked with you guys for so long, Sean. I can't think of a show I haven't worked with you on in the last couple of months. Johnny, I don't work with you as much as I used to back in the day.
Well, because he doesn't work, Augie.
No, Augie, that's not true. That must mean that Augie's calling somebody else.
Oh, well.
What? No,
I'm kidding.
I just haven't seen Brian. It's been Brian.
Oh, Brian, there it is.
You're probably too busy golfing with everybody that we've had on the show.
Damn
Johnny.
reader. No, so dude, I miss you.
I miss you guys. I haven't seen you, so I mean, obviously, I miss everybody. But I love what you guys have been doing with this. You've been keeping the community, in touch with each other, and making sure everybody sees each other's faces. So great work on the show, and congratulations on the success.
Thank you. It's been fun, actually.
Yeah, it's been great.
So congratulations to you. Can you tell us a little bit more? Like you're working on some movies, right?
Well, so I mean, that's the side project. Lately, the COVID era production. First month out of COVID, I was unemployed, like a lot of us, and then all of a sudden, these remote shows started popping up. Dun and Dusted brought me on for the Disney Family Sing Along Volume 2, and then the Year Class of 2020. So I got to do both of those shows, which was really cool, just to kind of work in this new atmosphere, this new environment. And then I got to do a live show with Jeff Keighley for PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 reveal. We did a live stream. So I got to do some tape stuff in remote, and I got to do some live stuff. And it's been really cool. It's been really fun. And so that's been the real job. That's what's been paying the bills. And but the movie is a documentary that I've been working on the side for the last 5 years while I've been doing all the stuff we do. It's just been a passion project called The School of Hard Knocks. It's a documentary about a wrestling school out in San Bernardino, California, where a bunch of top talents kind of came out of. And I was one of the people that used to do video for them back in '99. So I just go way back with them. I want to tell their story. And that's been the side project all while we do the crazy stuff that we do. So it's been quite a crazy 5 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is. Matt, something that's pretty crazy is going back to when Sean and I were young, wrestling was huge. It was the Hulk and all that kind of stuff, right? And I wasn't a huge wrestling guy. I mean, I maybe got in a little bit, but nothing crazy. But that has been something that has just lasted forever. Like, I mean, I had, when she was like 12, she's on her iPad on the couch, and I go over and I look, and she's moving it. And I'm like, what are you looking at? So I'm thinking the worst. She was watching the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Right. And so I give her one of those things. I'm like, that's what you're watching? And I go, that's fake, right? She goes, no, it's not. But that wrestling is something people love.
And it's essential. It never stopped during COVID-19.
That's right.
Horse racing and wrestling. Those are the two things I think I want to get into next, because neither of them stopped when all this happened.
Yeah, it's been crazy because they've had to adapt to this whole thing with no audiences, and they've been trying to put on these shows with no audiences, and it's so crazy because you try to just picture an Oscars or an Emmys without an audience, and it's just such a crazy thought. And they've been doing these shows. I don't watch on the regular basis anymore, but I've been seeing just kind of what they've been doing, and it's been interesting. It's you have to adapt, you have to pivot, which is what a lot of places are doing now.
Pivot, I've heard that a lot. I mean,
it's a buzzword.
Yeah, it's
a big buzzword.
It's huge now.
What was the other one? Granular.
Oh Oh,
We've been in a few meetings. When we get down to the granular topic here.
All right. And then everybody says it in the Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
15 people are now saying it because it's the buzzword. So,
we have some fun.
So, Augie, when you're working on these shows now, are they asking you to do more things, less things, just because they have less people, or has your job changed?
Well, what's crazy is, I do a lot of different jobs. I'm one of the few, I used to do script for the longest time, script department. I think I'm your first script person on the show, right?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, I believe you are.
Maybe not.
But yeah, I used to do that, but that hasn't been as much as needed in a lot of these shows. A lot of these shows do kind of take it down to a bare bones skeleton crew of mostly producers. It's a lot of producers. So I've been actually just flexing the producer muscles more during all of this, which has been great because that's what I think I'm better at, and I've been having fun. Like these last 3 shows have been great because they've just been such cool shows. A Disney show, a show celebrating graduation, and like all that. And I got to meet. Check this out. I got to meet Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, because we were having them shoot a segment, and they were having problems with shooting it, and we asked them to reshoot it. They did it, and they were still having problems, and we just asked them one more time, and they were like, "Can you just come down and do this?" And so I went down to Mark Hamill's house and met Luke Skywalker and shot his segment for him. It's pretty crazy.
Very
cool.
cool.
But it's been, that's part of producing. You just got to do what you got to do. These shows have been tricky, man. Doing all these Zoom calls, and there's things for editing as well, where when you're doing editing sessions, kind of like a Zoom call. There's one called Evercast, and there's one called Clearview, and it basically allows you to be in an edit room with your editor while they're making cuts and things like that, so that you could finish off the show. And that's been kind of one of the cooler aspects of this whole remote production, because you're really it's virtual. It really is. You're doing everything from your home. So is
talent and the manager involved in that too? That final edit, depending probably who the talent is.
Yeah, it depends on the talent level. Obviously, I'm sure there's some who do have that, and there's some that it's not as big a deal. But yeah, I mean, in some cases, it just the talent department knows more of those answers. We kind of stay out of those, but yeah, it just varies.
That's crazy. Yeah, because that's what we were just. I mean, ring light is the new. Everybody knows what a ring light is now. So, and everybody's doing different jobs, and if you're capable of doing several jobs, and you can have a show go and not put people in danger right now. That's what I was wondering. Like, are they asking you to shoot camera? Do you got to do lighting? Because we send a lot of lighting packages out to talent now, and talent's putting, they're doing the GoPro or the Sony RXO and the ring light and the mic, and it's like, it's kind of interesting as people are really adapting. And you're a guy that's kind of done everything, so I figured you'd survive during this and be a great asset to people.
Thank you. Yeah, I was, that first month was definitely a little bit scary. It was like just thinking about our shows, and how many people you pack into any of the arenas and spaces that we use, and that's just like our production team. And then you throw in the extra 100, extra 1,000, however many people you're going to throw in that room, and it's just scary based on stuff that we're hearing and how COVID is treating us. So. But there's ways to entertain. You could still do it, and it's finding that way. It's pivoting. It's adapting. It's doing whatever you can based on the limitations that are being set forth, by this, by riots, anything. You have to adapt to what's happening, and that's really been one of the coolest parts of all this craziness, is just seeing how people can adapt to the situation.
And what do you have any projects coming up, shows that you can talk about that you think are going to happen before the other ones?
Yeah, I've had 3 calls in the last 48 hours for things, but nothing solid. I'm cool. It's when something will come up, I'm sure something will come up. But I've been able to luckily get some of these gigs, which has been great. I know a lot of my friends haven't had that opportunity. So the fact that I've been able to do this, and then just actually starting this learning process, this learning curve that we're all having to kind of start from scratch to a certain extent and figure out. You know, I was just, as soon as knew I could get the job, I was like, all right, cool, because I just want to learn how we're going to do this, because this might last till December, this might last till January. You know, they're pushing Oscars till April, but you know, we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So just the more skills you could gain in this atmosphere, the better. So that's what I'm doing.
Right. In our crazy world, I mean, without award shows, I mean, January, you know, if all the shows push from January, I mean, that's half our year there, you know, award shows, and the biggest one so far is already pushed. So what's going to happen with Globes and Grammys and Critics' Choice and all these shows that normally we do? You know, hopefully there's some work for us, and they don't all push till April or something, and then they'll all be, you know, that same week.
On top, yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think the only way, there's not the only way. There's lots of different ways to kind of tackle this, but you know, these music specials that are still happening, you know, you could do music specials still. You just have to have kind of an empty set or something that's, you know, AR or VR, just to make it, you know, not just a room or whatever. But the audience thing is tricky. You know, it's I did read about a new drug on BBC the other day that is supposed to be looking good for coronavirus. So, you know, that's the key. As soon as we could get to that point where we know people feel more safe anyway, then we could start doing what we do the way we do it. You know, the big shows and the big, you know, spectaculars. I mean, you know, even now, Creative Arts Emmys, they just announced that that's going to be, you know, virtual. So,
really?
Yeah, they just announced that the other day. So it canceled the Governor's Ball, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, shows are adapting, and it's all part of this craziness. But, you know, I'm happy to be able to at least learn from this whole thing.
And is everybody safe and healthy in your world, or anybody been affected by the COVID?
Yeah, well, not
other than the work people we all know, you know.
Yeah, not on a coronavirus tip. We, you know, my fiance, I got engaged the weekend before coronavirus lockdown, and so we haven't been able to. Thank you. We haven't been able to celebrate or do much, you know, proper planning because everything's just up in the air. You know, all the people who had weddings in the summer are now moving their weddings to next spring, which would be what we would want to do. So
right.
It's a little bit. So that's been, you know, a little taxing. But you know, we're happy, we're healthy. There's so many people who are dealing with harder troubles than I have to deal with. Right. So just happy to be able to still work in my industry during all this, and you know, I'm very appreciative.
Very cool. Yeah, Augie, you've always been a champ. He's always just crushed it. You know, it's the same. You know, he's one of those guys. It's a yes. There's always a yes. What can we do?
Right.
It's not no. It's yes. Okay, let's figure it out. And that's the key, I think, to what we all do. And I've watched that guy go from just the normal guy out back with us to just crushing it. Now he's out in the front seats.
Right, now he wears a nice.
Yeah, he's got a sport coat.
Hell
yeah. I wore a sport coat.
I like to wear those, man.
I wore a sport coat a couple of days ago to a meeting, and one of my reader was there. Your guy reader, and he took a picture of me with my sport coat on and sends it to him. He sends it to me, and he goes, "Really?" I'm like, I can't do anything.
Hey, you got to do the part, though, right? You got to look like a producer. When they walk in, you got to go, that guy's a producer.
He's thinking.
Yep. And Augie, you look like you're a producer when you walk in the room.
Well, I thank you. I definitely, I try. I make sure I do. There's effort put into it, so I'm glad that it shows.
How many years have you been doing this now? 15, 17? 20?
No, you know, I started in 2000 on the award shows. I'd done like a docuseries show in the late 1990s, but in 2000, the producer David Doyle, who was producing these docuseries shows, the show finished and he was like, "What do you want to do now?" And I'd heard about the award show circuit. I had heard like everybody gets all dressed up and it's glamorous and all this. And I was like, I want to do that. So he put in a call to Kathy Erickson.
Love Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy Erickson.
We should get Kathy on.
We should. She's awesome.
She's the sweetest,
She's
kindest,
the best.
you know, lady there is. And she took that call from David Doyle. I had a job going to Michael Seligman's house to deliver holiday presents.
Wow, you went right to the top. You went.
Yeah.
Delivering holiday presents, though. See, he went from there to where he is now. Everybody who's just coming up, just follow the lead.
See, that's why he looks like a producer when he walks in, and you look like a seat filler.
Yeah, that's true.
That's cool. Cold nice. He looks like a rock star.
Yeah. Thanks, Augie. See, thank God someone's nice.
Oh,
you
on.
penis.
Oh, wow. So you wait. Kathy Erickson, Seligman. Wow. I mean.
Yeah. So I started at the Oscars 2000, and that was like my first big gig. I did basically every award show afterwards. So like Grammys, SAG Awards, a couple other shows, and then I did that Experience Music Project show up in Seattle, Johnny, with you. And
that was one of the coolest shows I ever did.
Wow.
No,
Sean?
No, he was still racing cars back then.
I thought it was cool still.
But that show was huge because I got to work with so many different people on that show. Even though I was LA local, I flew myself up there, and I was working with all these people, and I think at that point they knew I was in it to win, Yeah.
And, they learned quick who takes the beatings.
Yeah, and whether it's somebody like Charlie or, a lot of Fernandez and the people who knew me at the bottom and would tell me, they would look at me and be like, you're going to be my boss someday. And,
no one's ever said that to Sean.
But it's been a cool process of from the bottom and working with everybody. You learn everything, and that's been really fun.
Oh,
that's the key. That's the key to starting at the bottom, Augie. Though, when it doesn't matter what you're doing, if you see somebody struggling, you know what it is, you can help them. You know what I mean? It's kind of the good part about learning every aspect of these productions.
And you meet everybody, and you know what everybody does, and
especially if you're a script department.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Script department, I always feel bad for those people. You look at like when we all go home, say it's like a 10 o'clock or an 11 o'clock, and then, you get up in the morning and at 2 a.m. there's the email, and you're like the schedule, the updates, and you're like, oh my God. And then they're their first ones in too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, shout out to Jackie Stathis people because they're usually there with us too. Sometimes, depending on the show, but they're there pretty late too. It's part of the job, It's our job in script department is like, we wait till everybody leaves, and then we can actually, make sure
get the work done.
Right. Yeah. So that's always, a difficult part of the job. But I come up, for me anyway, most of the shows I do now, I have a pretty good system, so it's not too crazy. But you know how it is. You can get a show one time that's just out of your control, and you just have to deal with that craziness. It's the ebb and flow of our industry.
I just learned to take one wrong phone call, you push talent back, the whole thing goes down the tubes. It only takes a second.
Yeah, very valuable lesson today, Johnny.
Sure was. Tom Kinney, I apologize again.
So what are you looking forward to get back to doing other than work? Is there a restaurant, bar, carpentry?
No, I'm not. The thing I miss, honestly, the most is getting a massage. Like my back is so tense right now. Like,
did you know Johnny's a masseuse?
Yeah, come on over. Lay down on the table.
Really?
Sure. Especially.
That's been the thing I miss, just because I usually get one after each show, just because our shows are so grueling. So I usually try to get one right after, and it's been 3 months I haven't. So that's kind of the biggest thing I miss. The other stuff, to be honest, like, other than seeing friends and family, that's obviously top. But I can wait. I can wait on a lot of this other stuff. I don't need to go to a UFC fight or concert anytime soon. I can wait until we're in a better place. But for sure, when I'm in a position where I can get a good long massage, I'll be happy.
Right.
Do you go to like the Four Seasons, or do you go to that place where Bob Kraft goes?
Yeah, no, I go to.
I'm just curious. I'm sure everyone's curious.
Just asking for a friend. You wouldn't happen to have that address.
There's a place up the road. It's these elder Asian ladies who
So Bob Kraft.
I don't know what Bob Kraft does, but this is either older.
You might want to look it up online there.
Hey, you know, it's funny. When Sean's done with the show, he has to pay for his wife to get a massage.
Wow. Can you blame her, though?
Yeah, that's true.
No. Oh, cool. So you're, well, we appreciate you coming by, man. And sorry it took us so long to get you on the show. You've been so busy.
I feel like we should make up some more time with Augie since we screwed Tom Kinney over, though. Like, can we do another 10 minutes with you?
You can do however long you want. I feel so bad.
No,
Tom's going to be mad at me.
Yeah, next time we see Tom Kemmy, tell him you upstaged him.
We told him it was Natoli. Don't worry.
Better.
Yeah. Augie, great to see you. Always proud to see your name on an email because I got to see you from the beginning, and I think the best of you. Love your brother, too. I haven't seen him in forever, but he's also a cool dude. And thank you for coming on here with us for sure. And we should call Kathy Erickson.
We should. That would be a good call.
Yeah, give her a call. Call Michael Seligman. See if you can get Michael Seligman on the show. That'd be great.
That's a good call, too. Yeah. Can you make that call for us? We're looking for a new talent booking.
Yeah, our producer's pissed today. I think he's going to quit.
Yeah, they're...
Thanks for having me, guys. This is really cool. It's good to see your face.
Can't wait to get to give you a hug, my friend.
All right.
Feelings mutual.
Stay safe.
Care.
Thanks, Augie.
Yes, awesome.
He is. He's a good guy. It's great story. A lot of guys we work with actually, have pretty great stories on how they've come up. And
I bet you Tom Kinney had some great stories.
I bet if we would have had 10 more minutes, we probably could have got to one.
You know what the big buzzkill, though, is doing one of these things, like especially with an Augie Max Vargas? The guy was like 18 years old a minute ago, right? And now he's what is he, in his 40s?
Yeah.
We all got old.
Yeah,
I mean, he
quick.
still looks great. I wish I was Augie.
Yeah, I wish you were Augie.
Yeah. Such a well, everybody, on that note, we'll let it go. Hope you guys are all doing good. If anybody wants to be on the show, or if we can get Kathy Erickson on the show, that'd be great. Can you help us out?
Yeah, we'll have to call her.
Yeah,
All
love
right,
her.
Cool.
I think she likes me better than you.
I don't know, Johnny.
Yeah, she does like you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have Reader call her. I think Reader might have
yeah.
surpassed me on my side.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Thank you, everybody. Be safe.
All right. Thanks, guys.